Yo, what is going on YouTube? It is your boy GZTV. We are back with another video, and you guessed it, we are here. Sorry for my fans like blocking off my decorations in the background. Don't think you guys really give a shit. But we are here with the 6th episode of Dexter Original Sin. I think Joy of the Kill, I think it's what it was called. We're just gonna kind of talk about it in generalities. I am going on vacation and recording this beforehand, so I'm gonna keep this in case I can actually like edit the video and get it posted on vacation. But just kind of getting into it. The episode blends shocking thrills and humor, making it engaging and entertaining for viewers. I do think this episode was definitely a return to form for this show because the last episode wasn't great and it was critically kind of shamed for that. Dexter's double date with Deborah is hilarious. I mean, this is a very funny episode. Like, me and my dad found ourselves laughing at this one more than we did most episodes. Showcased kind of a lighter side of the character. Obviously, he's very dark, he's very cynical, he kills people, he does all that stuff. But in this episode, he's very much making that the backseat. I mean, there is a kill in this episode, and this is a spoiler alert, by the way. We will be talking about every single thing damn near that happens. More generalities than we would for normal TV shows, but I'm definitely going to talk about the plot points here. But new supporting characters need more development. Patrick Dempsey does shine as Aaron Spencer. I do think our wishes were kind of granted here because Aaron Spencer got a lot of really good screen time, a lot of dope scenes, a huge storyline with the whole judge's son and the killers and the connections there that is going to kind of help facilitate his character moving forward, and I really enjoy that they did that. Sorry if there's noise coming from upstairs. I don't know what the fuck is going on, but this show's 6th episode sees Dexter chasing the kill that will see him officially become a serial killer. There's kind of like a lot of irony. They kind of cleverly tie that in. They're like, oh, according to homicide, if you commit 3 murders, you're a serial killer. And funny enough, coincidentally, it's lining up that this is going to be his 3rd kill. So he's officially inducted into the Serial Killer Hall of Fame anyways, and he's finally making that name for himself. Obviously that's not a positive thing, but really just the beginnings of Dexter. You know, Miami Metro Homicide Chief Aaron Spencer deals with the brutal kidnapping of his young son as well. And then elsewhere you see the 70s flashback. It's the birth of Deborah Morgan, so that's really cool to see the origins behind that in the flashback. While Harry's affair with Laura Moser heats up significantly, and the undercover mission to bring down the cartel takes a shocking turn. There's a lot of stuff involved here. This episode was directed by Michael Lehman and written by Terry Huang. Obviously came out the week after the last episode, blah blah blah. It's called The Joy of the Killing. It's another dark and twisted episode that blends well with a few flickers of laugh-out humor. Again, this is an episode, I think the best episodes of Dexter are the ones that have funny moments and dark moments kind of tied together, and that's exactly what we get here, so there you have it. It successfully reintroduces the main storyline with potentially devastating consequences, and there's a lot of stakes on the line for certain characters. But let's get into it, kind of just general talks, and there you go. Again, like what was kind of said before, this episode is a good mix of shocking thrills and laugh-out-loud moments, and just finding that balance is kind of the critical point. It's kind of like the formula. It's going to become the formula for the show, and to an extent you got that in the original series. Now I think this series could definitely be a little more exploitative of it, and hopefully they kind of capitalize on that over the next 4 episodes. And again, it's really nice to know that we have a season 2 coming out, so this show gets a little more breathing room, a little less room for criticism because there's more to come. But getting into it, so after the deviation from Miami Metro Homicide's main case in the last episode, the second half of this debut season begins with a tense scene which sees Aaron Spencer's young son being kidnapped. I mean, that's kind of how the show starts. The identity of the villain remains unknown to the main characters and viewers, and this creates obviously a compelling murder mystery that feels different to anything previously seen in the Dexterverse. We don't even know what this guy looks like, and that's actually like a trope, crazy enough, that in the original series they never really touched on that. They never really had the idea like, oh, let's cover his face so we don't even know who it is. And again, with 4 episodes left in a season where eventually they are going to catch the big bad, we still don't know who this guy is, and I think that's really fucking cool. Now obviously we've only seen him in a handful of scenes, but I still think that's an awesome element. The dark opening though is soon lightened up by some much needed humor courtesy of Patrick Gibson's brilliantly nuanced performances. Dexter Morgan, I mean, he was fucking great this episode. This is one of the better episodes from Patrick Gibson. He does awesome. Any concerns about the relatively unknown actor taking on the role made famous by Michael C. Hall were quickly alleviated as soon as he appeared on screen in this show's first episode. I mean, straight from the pilot, you knew that Patrick Gibson was gifted. You knew like he was gonna be a good ass fucking Dexter and a good actor to portray him, of course. And by this episode, he really has established himself as the true embodiment of the serial killer with a code. Again, he's a contributing factor. He is a really big reason why we are getting another season of this show. He plays the character so well, like Dexter in an adolescence. It's fucking perfect. He's Patrick Gibson, great. One of the best remake actors I've ever fucking seen for a TV show, or a prequel actor, whatever you want to call it. I have the hiccups, I apologize. Dexter and his love interest, Sophia's double date with Deborah and Gio, is one of the funniest scenes in the prequel so far. I mean, this was great. The whole sequence with them, and I think we need more of this. I think we need more of this quad group of characters. I think they interact with each other so well. I like the dynamic between them. Again, they need to really bring this out and use it a lot. I loved it. A large majority of the humor in this series comes from Dexter's insatiable appetite for food, and it's so funny actually. Like, just the comical aspect of it is like they're really focusing on Dexter being like this hungry bastard all the time, and that wasn't really hinted at in the original series. Like, they showed like Dexter eats a lot, but they're really bringing that out, and that's something that's unique. That's something that's kind of making this prequel series its own thing, and I really enjoy that. It's great to see a lighter side to the character, and Gibson balances these humorous moments really well with his dark passenger side. He's still able to kind of ground it and kind of bring it back to what makes Dexter such an amazing franchise, and I think that's awesome. I think that's a great skill of his. Each murder Dexter carries out is an improvement on the previous one as he perfects Harry's code, and that's kind of the beauty of this whole thing, is just watching the process and watching Dexter get better and better at what he does. However, it's the errors he keeps making in the disposal of his victims that make these scenes compelling and decidedly different from the original series. Now, obviously, you saw towards the end of the episode, they found the arm, which was obviously foreshadowed when he killed Nurse Mary, and that's going to open up a whole criminal investigation, and yeah, it's going to be kind of similar to what happened in season 2 of the original series, where he was the Bay Harbor Butcher and they started uncovering these bodies randomly. So that's going to create an awesome dynamic moving forward through the second half of the season. I think the second half of the season is going to be way more intense than the first half, and obviously that's a given. Obviously that's what the show is trying to do, but still. The new supporting characters are still largely missing in action, obviously, from the show, but Patrick Dempsey does get a chance to shine. We can kind of take a moment here to talk about him because he was awesome in this episode. I really liked what they did with him here. Obviously, you have Sarah Michelle Gellar. She has absolutely nothing to do again in this episode. She's kind of just there to be a part of the police force, but it feels like she is being saved for a dramatic conclusion involving her character, Tanya Martin. I mean, Tanya Martin surely has something down the pipeline. I mean, they wouldn't introduce her, they wouldn't have her connected to Dexter in any sort of way if they weren't planning on doing something with her character. Now, obviously, if they don't do anything with her character, it's going to be a huge disappointment, but I doubt they are dumb enough. I doubt Clyde Phillips is dumb enough to do this as a producer of the show. Bobby Watt is strangely underdeveloped in the 90s set story, but has much more to do in the 1970s timeline, so at least there's that with him. These characters need more to do in the second half of the season, as all good prequels should introduce compelling new characters to create stakes to make up for the lack of them in already established characters. And there's plenty of characters that haven't really been brought up. You know, obviously we don't, Brian Moser got hinted at, but like him, and there's certain characters. Where is the sergeant's name? Sergeant Dokes. That's a guy I want to see eventually. But I guess like making up for him, what I'm really trying to say here is making up for him by bringing in these characters. So like Masuka and Batista also have little to do in this episode, but the audience is familiar with their future arcs, so it doesn't matter as much at the moment, with more seasons likely to come in the future. Yes, at least one more season to come in the future. And I talked about this last video, like, yeah, Masuka and Batista don't have much to do, like they're very minor characters in this series, but still, we know what they are. We know them from the original series, so that's fine. One character who has been given some good screen time in this episode is Aaron Spencer, portrayed by Patrick Dempsey. He is now at the center of the main storyline. He's kind of the gears that are going to move it forward, with a personal involvement in the kidnapping case, and Dempsey gets a chance to flex his acting chops a bit more. You know, Aaron Spencer was never mentioned in the original series, so his fate in Original Sin is very much up in the air, which works nicely for his end of season arc. It's going to be extremely kind of unpredictable, which is great. I love that about it. His relationship with Harry Morgan is cemented in this episode as the pair share a stiff drink in his office, but one glaring issue is the fact that this character is heavily involved in an investigation into his own son's disappearance, and that creates a huge conflict, and that creates some very interesting stuff going forward, interesting implications going forward for this sequel series. This wouldn't have happened even back in the 90s, and it feels like a contrived way of getting Spencer to showcase his anger and frustration. He is kind of a flawed character, I will say. Nevertheless, Dempsey plays it well, but it might work to have his character go rogue in future episodes. I mean, it really is going to kind of annoy the audience. That is a really good point. I'm reading in my notes here. It might annoy the audience a little bit for him to just be fucking pissed all the time that he can't find his son. Get him out of the flashy suits and work the case off the books alongside Harry Morgan. I think that would be cool. Overall, another great episode, but I guess there are a couple of holes with Aaron Spencer's character. just overall reviews, I do think we are very much back on track here. I loved it. I think this was a really good episode. You know, Dexter Morgan again being officially inducted into the serial killer club. I think that was a fucking cool moment. He still hasn't perfected his disposal methods yet, and that makes for a very excellent episode. It makes for a lot of conflict. There's a lot of hints of stuff to come. It almost seems like a fucking pilot, and that's perfect because after the mid-season finale, you do want to lay some groundwork for what's going to be kind of closing out the season. Like, that's like the beginning of the end, I guess, if you will, and they do that very well. Again, Aaron Spencer finally getting some shine in the storyline. Why am I fucking lagging? There is no reason, sorry. But he's gonna finally get some shine in the storyline. Dexter's still making mistakes disposing bodies, and the alligator's not fully fucking eating them, and all these sorts of things. So again, a lot of interesting stuff to come. I will be very excited to see how the next 4 episodes come. But just an announcement, I am going on vacation, so I don't know when you guys are even gonna get this video. I might try to edit it in the car tomorrow and just post it so you guys have it. Stay tuned on Instagram and all that stuff. We're posting shorts about Summer Smash. It's going to continue. We're going to continue to cover more and more artists from that. That's going to be a great time. Make sure you guys tune into that. That's going to kind of be the supplementary content while I'm on vacation. And obviously, if the NBA games are good, I'll probably still try to do like a stream recap in my room, just kind of talking about it real quick with you guys. And I do plan on doing some Twitch streams. I mean, obviously, I tweeted about this earlier, but I just kind of wanted to let my YouTube fans know. And also, I am on Snapchat, just like spam adding people. So if you come to my YouTube video from that, make sure you leave that in the comments. I'd like to know. But anyways, leave a like, comment, subscribe, check out the socials, pop them up here. As always, it has been your boy Jeezy TV giving you guys quality TV show reviews. I'm not really sure actually when Stranger Things is supposed to come out. They originally said like June 6th, but I don't really know anymore. We'll get to that when we get to that. Squid Game, the Resurrection series is coming too, so a lot to come.